Okay, welcome back everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. We're going to use the charts to be our guide. We're looking for profitable trade ideas. If you're new, drop me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing, subscribe. You have nothing to lose on that one. And then at the end of the day, if you're interested in learning this as a skill set, check out my technical analysis course. I put that together a couple years back at the request of my subscribers. It's 4 to 5 hours of video training, and it's not a day trading course. It really is a technical analysis course based on charts, technical analysis, what to look for, how to find high probability setups, and then I give you guys a checklist on really everything to really look for to give you the best setup. So if you're interested in that, link in the description below. And then finally, if you're not in the private member group and you're interested in getting additional trade ideas, additional market commentary kind of throughout the day, I drop comments, I drop charts in there. I've given a couple profitable trades today just to the private member group. They were on those this morning. So again, it's $5 a month. I don't want to give my time and effort away for free, but I'm not charging a fortune. It's $5 a month. So in general, check that out. If interested, link in the description below to be a member, and also the technical analysis course. All right, let's start off with triple Qs. All right, I'm going to keep things really simple. All right, just around the broad markets, and then we'll go into some general trade ideas and stock charts and everything. Okay. Bigger picture on the SPY, all right, pretty weak price action today, I would say, but not enough information for me to say definitively that we've started the next leg lower in the bear market. We are in a bear market that has not been proven any different, so I'm treating rallies as opportunities to short into. However, not quite enough information, so I'll tell you guys what I'm seeing. On triple Qs, we've got some support right here at about 293. We're probably going to come down to that today in the next hour and probably hit that. And then from there, I suspect we get a little bounce. All right. The market's kind of been grinding around, chopping around. We've been kind of not doing a whole lot, not going up, not going down in the last couple weeks, basically almost a month. And that is really all I see. Now, on the bigger picture on triple Qs, I've got this trend line. This is the start of the bear market. And if you really define a bear market as really a trend of lower highs and lower lows, then that remains. You can see here's a high, there's a high, there's a high, and even this rally right here, lower high, okay? Now, yes, we did break the downtrend. There was a clear and defined downtrend. And by the time usually you have a clear and defined trend, that's about the time it typically breaks. And sure enough, that broke. But we have not negated the bear market. We're still making a series of lower highs. And next up, if we're going to continue the bear market, we would see a lower low, meaning we're likely going to take out this 259.65 area. Kind of, this is the low where the market's really held in the bear market, 3 tags of that. You take that out, we should have a pretty impulsive flush down to 238 as a minimum, and I think probably potentially a lot lower. So all right, that's all I see there until we start taking out and really break back below the trend line. Then I just don't see enough information. However, if I flip over to the SPY, you'll see here on the SPY that basically here's your trend line. This is your lower highs. All right, and even right here, made a lower high. Yeah, you got this one, but this is much more important here. And the trend line is marked in blue. And as I roll out, look, we broke out, back tested. Oh, this chart's skipping around on me. We broke out, back tested, pop, back tested, pop. We're back at it again. So the market's really struggling to lift off of this support zone. The buyers, they're there for a couple days and then it's just met by selling. So I'm not seeing strength in the market in terms of bouncing off support. Now we could, maybe we're going to hold here and then bounce. I don't exactly know. What I'd be looking for, and for me, it really comes, I think, down to the SPY for the most part, at least for a broad market analysis, a break back below this trend line. If we can break back below it, that's going to signal that this price action up here was a bear trap. A bull trap. All the price action here, the break of the trend was all a bull trap, and it should usher in a pretty impulsive wave of selling. okay, and likely making brand new lows below this 350 area in the SPY. Additionally, yeah, I mean, that's all I see. So a break, we're at support. We're at the 200-day right now, so I suspect, they're going to fight it out. But a break back below, bearish, and a bounce off of there, bullish, and, we could obviously run up and make new highs, all right? I don't exactly know. We're kind of at that point of decision, so we need to just wait and see on that one. And just real quick, I'll flip to the weekly chart just to really simplify the analysis. Okay, there's your bear market, clear bear market. This is a weekly chart. And, we're above that trend, but a break back below should and most likely will usher in a wave of selling, bringing us, I believe, down to this target right here, 338, 339, somewhere right in there. That is your pre-COVID highs right here on the SPY. And we have never hit that yet. They stepped in a little early, rallied it up. So I think a wave of selling down to that 338, 339 area would make sense for kind of a target, a trend target, at least over, it's going to take weeks to months basically, potentially. Could be faster than that. If this is really impulsive selling, I could see it being a lot quicker than that. But that would be a target for sure to watch for a reaction. Okay, gold. I want to talk about a couple things here in gold, and I want to give you guys some broad analysis on it and try to make a case for a bullish case for gold. Gold futures, all right, we're looking at a daily chart. We do have bullish divergence right now. If I zoom in, here's the RSI. You can see we're starting to turn up there. So that is momentum starting to turn up. And then here's the PPO, momentum starting to turn up, just barely, but it's just kind of the beginning. And we made a low, equal low right here. So that's bullish divergence, all right? That's indicating that we're likely going to have a trend reversal soon, and we're looking for that, okay? So equally, I've really highlighted really big support right here, 1812. This was my zone of support, and I know my chart's kind of messy, but my zone of support really was anywhere from about 1830 down to 1812-ish, and I've got it kind of marked out. But look, that was support here, resistance there. Lots of kind of reactions and kind of a consolidation there, support there. So again, that is support, very strong support. We're starting to build that bullish divergence. I think the downside's limited. This chart tells me that. I want to flip over and look at the bonds, all right? This is the interest rates, TNX. Okay, interest rates, as interest rates rise, they're competing with they're essentially competing with gold, okay? Because if something like a treasury is paying a yield, gold does not pay a yield. So as interest rates rise, that can put pressure on gold. As interest rates fall, that can put pressure, or that can be a headwind for gold. And what I'm seeing here in the chart on TNX is basically, you can see a couple things. One, we have an island reversal candlestick. Now, doesn't mean it's going to remain there, but it's there as of right now. See that gap up, gap down. That's an island reversal top, okay? So really, you don't want to take that top out. You start getting closes basically, back above that 409 or so, then that's going to negate that as an island top. But it is an island top right as of right now, which tells me that there's a decent probability that rates are going to start dropping as we fall. What do I think that's, I think what can happen is the market's going to start to make a leg down. And I'll show you guys why I think that, but the market's going to start to make a leg down. And then as interest rates start dropping, that's going to be supportive of gold prices. So that's kind of my thesis right now. If I go to the hourly chart, you can see here negative divergence right there on the hourly. So that little spike up high was a divergent high, telling me that we're going to start to maybe drop, starting to see interest rates falling. And likely, interest rates will be falling because there's going to be a risk-off trade happening, okay? Treasuries and gold are risk-off typically, and I can see basically people exiting the risk-on trade, such as tech, growth stocks and tech, and then going into the risk-off trade, which would be gold miners, and treasuries. So again, negative divergence on the interest rates means that it tells me that they're going to start buying those bonds. Let's look at the TLT just to give another kind of look at that. It's really the inverse of that TNX, but bullish divergence there on the RSI and the PPO hourly chart. Kind of a gap down bottom there. And again, so I'd be looking actually for bonds to rally. Okay, I'm not looking to trade these. They don't move a ton. I'd rather look at, shorting the growth stocks, but that's kind of where I'm at right now on that macro trade. And then if we look at the dollar, okay, here's the dollar, and you can see this is dollar futures. I don't see any real divergences there, but some selling today, nothing super impulsive. If I go to DXY, which is kind of the dollar-euro pair, essentially, there is some negative divergence just starting to show up there on the daily chart, RSI, and not enough to go off of on the PPO, but it is showing up on the RSI. Usually things will show up on the RSI first before they show up on the PPO, but yeah. So I'm seeing some negative divergence, which could mean that the dollar is going to start to sell off. All right. Now, that could be mixed signals. I know a lot of the time you'll see people rush to the dollar as the, as a safety play, but doesn't necessarily have to be that way. You could see gold and treasuries, get bid while the dollar's selling off. I don't exactly know. All I know is what I'm starting to see in the charts across the board. So that is really it. Now, yes, the dollar did come off that divergent low on the daily chart. You can see that nice, solid divergent low. So yeah, there could be some more upside in dollar. Doesn't necessarily mean that gold's going to fall. Again, the dollar is priced against other currencies. So it's not necessarily, it's kind of what, maybe the dollar is doing one thing, but what are the other currencies doing? So more complex than just determining what the dollar is. It's all relevant and it's all relative to other currencies. Okay, so that's what I see in the charts there. I'm thinking interest rates are going to come down, and I think there's a risk-off thing going on. One of the things that tells me that, okay, two things. The financials. I'm looking across the board today. Obviously, today, if you were in the private member group, then we caught this JP Morgan short. Now, I see some better shorts there, but JP Morgan was the one I was really focused on. And again, we broke trendline support this morning right here. Okay, I had been talking about this 138 level as a key level of support, and I will, when that broke, I expected to move down to the next level of support. Really, for me, it was about right here, 129. You can see reaction lows right through here, and sure enough, we're close enough now that it's, you can say that we got that trade right. So this short. Posted it in the private member group this morning, and this thing's down 5.5%, so that's a winner. We don't get all the trades right, got this one right, okay? And when I look across the board on the financials, they look pretty weak. If I look at the XLF, there's the XLF dropping and slicing right through the 200-day moving average. We'll see how the day closes. That's pretty bearish, though, if you get it closed below the 200-day and it just continues lower. I see support on XLF about 33.24, so you're likely going to get a bounce there. But if we close down there, then it's sell the rip all day long, okay? So I would expect, you're probably going to get a bounce back up to the 200-day and probably get rejected there and head lower. So that would be a sell the rip as long as you're closing, down around this support or, essentially below the 200. Nice impulsive close below the 200. And that's how it looks like it's going to happen as of today. So that's pretty bearish to see the financials. They're pretty much getting wrecked today, just across the board, looking extremely weak. So Visa was one I talked about recently. I got support on Visa right here at about 217.50 or so. So if that goes, we're probably heading down to the 200 simple moving average and likely this trend line. But looking weak on that one. The other one is tech in general looks weak, but the semiconductors are looking pretty weak. They are like AVGO is really my favorite that I've been talking about for essentially weeks now. But here you go on AVGO, negative divergence on the daily. Nice clean uptrend line to watch. Bearish rising wedge. Break of trend. All right. Back testing right up in here. The back test was a divergent high. and indicating kind of the end of the road for that rally. All right, and so I'm looking for pretty much selling from here on out. I don't think we're going to have much more upside. I think the upside's limited, although there might be slight upside. There's always the potential. Looks like the upside's limited. First target would be this gap fill, about 602. But I think we're going a lot lower than that, guys. At the end of the day, likely coming down to the 200 simple moving average and even this trend line. All right, this is kind of your bear market trend line, and I think we could come down here as well. So I'm looking for a lot of downside in some of these semiconductors. And then SOXX, this one, we could mark this out down here. It's not a super clean trend line, but I think there'll probably be a reaction down here. Maybe come down, hit the 200 or something like that. Also on this one, if I go to the hourly chart, you can see divergent high just recently on the hourly. There it is. Boom. All right. And, grab that back. And then right here. All right. PPL, RSI, divergent high. All right. Look, you have a high. You have a higher high, but momentum was less. Divergence. All right, that tells me that we're likely coming lower and probably coming down to this trend line that I marked out. I can't say that that is a definitive trend line because I only have a couple reactions, but I think there's a good probability we'll get another reaction down there. Okay, not sure where I left off. Took a quick break, was scanning the charts. SOXX, again, coming off a negative divergence on the hourly chart. Nothing really there on the daily, I can say per se, but definitely have decent resistance right here. You can see it's about 424.50 right in there. Resistance. It kind of pops above it a little bit, but again, we're back below it. So I like that as a rejection. And again, I think there's a decent chance for some downside. Seeing some weakness in some of these semis today. And potential for a lot more. And then also the financials look really weak. Let's look at some of these individual trade ideas like CAT. All right, CAT coming down. All right, we're selling off. All right, so again, I like this one a lot, and I did point out to the private member group this morning. It's already down 2.5%, but here's what I like about it. All right, on this one, you've got some resistance. I had the resistance marked about right there, 251.94. Okay. All right. And I like that still as resistance. Big negative divergence on the daily chart, indicating that this is a really kind of a topping pattern where we're likely putting in kind of a longer term top, and we're going to have months, maybe years of a downtrend. Okay. The end of, really the end of whatever this rally was, and starting a more major downtrend. The other thing is you can see support. I had support about 237.50. All right. So, and then I have this uptrend line. Uptrend, negative divergence, looking for a break of trend. We broke, back tested, failed, came down to the first level of support. All right. Bounced off of that. Ran into resistance, popped it by a couple days. Stop raid. All right. That's a stop raid, bull trap, whatever you want to call it. And then impulsively rejected, falling by more selling. I love that. So in general, I think we head back down to the support about 237.50, maybe a 1 day consolidation, couple days consolidation. I don't think we're going to have much of a bounce, and then we're going to head lower down to the next level of support, 226. Pretty decent support right there. So we'll watch for that on the way down. Okay, Merck, very similar to CAT. On the daily chart, we have negative divergence. It's been building for a while. We have an uptrend line. We have a break of trend right there. Back test, impulsive rejection, and now it's sell the rip, basically. It's as easy as it goes. So we sold down. We hit support here about 102.50. Nice rally. Okay, continued to rally. As we were rallying, we basically popped above this resistance level that I had marked out about 110 for a couple days and impulsively rejected. Looking at the hourly chart, you can see, yeah, we didn't really have divergence. I wouldn't say we had hourly divergence that indicated that, but in general, we're coming off a big huge negative divergence on the daily chart is not something where you just drop a little and then just continue to rally. Typically, I would look for a more lasting correction. And again, this drop you know, from the time we broke, it fell, what, 8%. I'd be looking for, you know, at least a double-digit drop. So at the end of the day, my target still remains 95. All right, there it is. That's former decent resistance. I think that'll be good support, and that would be my kind of my longer-term target. So looking good so far. Real quick, guys, flipping back to the SPY, you'll see here that we're basically sitting at support right now. So this is where the buyers step in. I don't think we're going to break today. I mean, it's possible, but we're already down 1%, you know, almost 2%. I don't think, and we got another half hour to go, but, you know, so maybe the selling intensifies. But in general, I don't think we're going to break today. So I think the buyers will step in. We'll probably get a little bounce here. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's take a look at wheat. This one's clearly probably the one that I've talked about that's just not really working. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, see if we need to stop out or not. So on wheat, this is a daily chart. Again, we've kind of broken support levels now. I don't see much in the way of support. You've got this lower support area here. And we consolidated, and now we've kind of broken that, and relatively impulsively. So I can't hang my hat on that support level. We also have this downtrend line here, and we've broken that. And in general, everything's the support. These support patterns have been broken. We still have bullish divergence that remains, that has not been negated on the PPO. And if I look at the RSI, they're starting to negate it unless the buyers step in. Towards the end of the day, you know, we will have kind of broken that negative that bullish divergence on the RSI. We still have it on the PPO. Let's go to the wheat futures. Again, this is the one I really like to trade off of more than the actual chart of the ETN. So on the wheat futures, again, bullish divergence on the PPO. And if I look at the RSI, we still have bullish divergence. All right, you can see here that we're heading straight down. We need to turn up very soon or we're going to burn through the divergence, but it is there. Okay, and then we have this kind of flush out move. So as of now, I'm going to give it a little more room. Okay, I think this is a flush out move and they're going to pop this thing back up and recover it. I'm not willing to give it too much more room. I will stop out. You know, and that's the name of the game. Sometimes we just have to take losses, and that's how we do it. But I'm going to give it a little more room here and see if we can't recover. If we continue to, you know, drop, next support level on this, I think is right down here. Looks like it's right about, I'd probably have to do a little more homework just to kind of tighten it up. But right in this area here, which is basically it's about 677, 675. We're below that now. And then below that, you've got, you know, I mean, we could go down a ways. So, all right, so that's it. You know, not quite working. Again, that's why we don't load up on just one position. We kind of take multiple positions and space our position sizing out across multiple positions, because at the end of the day, this one's not working today, hasn't been working for a little while, but still profitable in all those other ones which are working. So yeah, that's what I have on that. So we'll keep an eye on it. I think the buyers are going to step in, but you know, we'll wait and see. Starbucks. Okay, so Starbucks again, bearish rising wedge pattern here, negative divergence on momentum indicators, break of trend with a nice gap down right back here, couple weeks or days, whatever, a week of kind of back testing, and it's just sell the rip at this point. Lower lows, lower highs. So next level of support is down here about 97. Okay, probably going to get a bounce there and continue to work our way down towards 94. 93.50 is the support level that I have on that one for a potential final target, and the 200-day. So I still like this one short. It's a good trade setup. It's working. We'll stick with it. That's all I have, guys. So hopefully you guys are finding value in the content. Drop me a thumbs up. Let me know how things are going. Sign up for the member group if you're interested in additional trade ideas. Take the technical analysis course if you want to learn this as a skill set and not just follow along in my YouTube videos. All right, guys. Link in the description below on both those. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.